Good morning, Amy. Welcome to the American Club and the Pastry Kitchen here at the American Club. Today we're going to be making the banana bourbon bread pudding, which is one everybody always asks the pastry chef, what's the pastry chef's favorite dessert? And this is pretty much it. This is comfort food, par excellence. So let's start, shall we? We have all the ingredients here. Now we're going to put 5 whole eggs and 1 egg yolk. And on top of that, we're going to put 1 cup, 3/4 of a cup of sugar, granulated. I prefer pure cane, and we're going to mix that right away because the minute we put sugar on top of eggs, we have to make that into one homogeneous mixed thing, or we're going to get burned egg yolks. I have my scalded milk just back here. As you can see, there's the skin, and we're going to put that on top little bit by little bit. This is what's called tempering. Now we're going to put in our vanilla. Really buy a good vanilla. It's really important. That's such a nice flavor and a good background. Now I know we're going to overwhelm this a little bit with bourbon, but on the other hand, it really adds to the complexity of the dish. And you can add bourbon. It says a 1/2 cup in the recipe, but you can add it as much or as little as you wish. Now, as with all good custards, let's run it through a fine mesh strainer. This refines the custard and really makes it. Amy, you always remember, you've seen me do these recipes. This makes the custard just trip over the tongue, which my mother hates it when I do that. And we're just going to make sure that all of the not so nice elements of the egg did not make it into the custard. That's going to make this custard very elegant and very fine. Now we're going to put the breadcrumbs into this. Now we're going to take 3 bananas to make this the banana bourbon bread pudding. That's about 2 cups mashed, or 3 bananas. Now notice how ripe they were. You really want bananas that are very, very ripe, very flecked with brown to get really good taste. And we're going to just puree them just a little bit, but I think this is important. Now we're going to take some of the custard here and pour that on top, and that prevents the bananas from becoming so gray. And we want to get that nice and smooth. Okay. And now we have the banana back with the all of the custard, and we're going to pour that over our 5 cups liberal of breadcrumbs. And we're going to stir that, keep doing as much. And now we put that aside for about 10 or 15 minutes just to soak. After the bread and the custard have soaked, we're just going to take an 8x8 glass cake pan. You can you can take whatever baking dish, whatever you wish, one that holds 1.5 quarts, and we're going to put it in like this. And isn't that lovely? And then we're going to put it into a little bit larger baking dish, and we're going to go to the oven. I'm going to gently put it on top, just on the rim like this. The oven is at 350 degrees. And we're going to pour really hot, almost boiling water, at least to come up half, maybe even 3/4. Now in making the caramel sauce, we're using a cup of sugar. It's called a dry caramel. We put it in a rather large surface, and this is one that you have to stir constantly or you will burn. So we're going to stir this until the sugar melts and turns a mahogany color. We have our 2 cups of heavy cream here, which we'll be adding little bit by little bit. And it's very important once you add that your hand not be in this cone rising straight up, or you will get a steam burn. And I will tell you right now, there's nothing in this world worse than a steam burn. So be careful. You're going to add that very slowly. This takes just a little while. Okay, we've allowed our caramel sauce just to cool a bit, be a little bit warm. And notice I have a piece of the finished bread pudding. I have glazed the top a little bit with an apricot jam, very lightly, strained. And then it's easy to pour the caramel sauce around, but I'm going to do a little bit different. I'm going to pour it so it looks very luxurious over the top. And then I'm just going to take a banana, and I'm going to put about 3 slices on the top, just as decoration. And you can gild that if you wish with a slice with some whipped cream or some vanilla ice cream, or even better yet, a scoop of wonderful banana ice cream. And there it is, from me to you. Messy, but so good. Back to you, Amy.